guys, my name is Brittany and today I'm filming my first YouTube video, which is going to be my May favorite. I really hope you guys all enjoy this. I'm very sorry if I'm a little bit awkward or I'm kind of just rambling all over the place. It is my first video, so I tend to ramble a lot and I'm just going to try and cut most of it out when I go through and edit this. But I just want to apologize in advance if that does happen. I actually just filmed a everyday makeup tutorial on this look, but it did not come out good and I was just rambling way too much and I couldn't even really edit a lot of the parts out, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do this video instead. I hope you guys all enjoy this video and let's just get started. First thing that I'm going to be talking about isn't a makeup product but more of a beauty product, and I just had to talk about this because I used it for the first time yesterday, and I know that this is a May favorites and I haven't been using it all month, but it's just so good that I wanted to add it into this video. This is the Jergens Natural Glow Instant Sun Flawless Natural Looking Color Instantly Sunless Tanning Mousse. And this is in the shade Ultra Deep Tahiti Tan. So I was in CVS yesterday and I've been looking for a self tanner that was not too expensive, and I picked this one up. It was around $13 and I applied it yesterday. So my first initial thoughts on this was really weird because the directions on this aren't very good. It says that the color develops within 60 seconds and if you don't like the color then reapply it tomorrow and it'll make it darker. I was very confused with this because when I put it on, I noticed like a very subtle tan, but I wasn't tan by all means. It wasn't like really anything noticeable. It was more of just like a natural glow. But then I slept with it. I woke up this morning and I have a tan, guys. This is my first time trying an ultra deep tanner because I am naturally very pale. So I was a little bit worried, but it came out looking very nice. I really like it. I don't know how long it's gonna last, but I'm gonna shower and, well, shower over the next couple days and just see what it looks like, and I will definitely update you guys on that. So that is definitely my first favorite of the month. My first impressions on this are an A+. This is awesome. So now I'm gonna talk about something that also isn't makeup related, but more of a skincare item, and I've been using this all throughout the month of May. This product is so good for those of you with dry skin. If you don't have this product, I 100% recommend it. It works wonders on my skin, so I can only imagine what it could do for people with like drier skin than what I have. And this is the Body Shop Hemp Heavy Duty Face Protector, and it says expert care for ultra dry skin. So this is a face lotion. It's almost more of like a balm. It is very thick. I asked them what they recommended for someone with very dry skin because I have gone through so many different face moisturizers and none of them have really saved my dry skin. The closest one that I have found that really worked for me for a while is the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Cream. But I did notice that throughout the months I was using that, it was severely clogging my pores, so I had to try something else, and they recommended this for me. So I was very nervous because it is very thick. So I thought this was going to clog my pores like a ton, but it really didn't. Maybe if you use this all the time it would, but I really use this at night. I put on a nice thick layer after I wash my face, and I go in with some micellar water. I just apply this, I go to sleep, and my face isn't like completely like dow, it's so plump and moisturized. I don't really get that effect from this, but I definitely don't have any like dry flakes anywhere. It doesn't feel tight or anything. It just feels very nice, and I really like this face moisturizer. I just ran out of it. I think I've had it for about 1 or 2 months. So I am going to go pick another one up. It is only $15, I believe. So it's not very expensive for a moisturizer. Even some at CVS are more expensive than this one. So I highly recommend it for those with dry skin. If you have combination skin, I feel like it still could work for you. Although if you have oily skin, I would just stay away from this because it is so thick. Okay, so moving into makeup products, I just have a couple that I want to share with you guys. And first, starting out, I'm going to start with a foundation. So this foundation is not new by any means. A lot of people have talked about it, but I'm new to trying it out. And this is the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Foundation. So I bought the shade L1 Porcelain. And this is the only thing I don't like about this foundation is the shade range. It is awful. Even the porcelain shade is so unnatural looking for someone who does naturally have porcelain skin. It just looks very weird on me, and majority of the time I do have to mix it with a lighter foundation. It is very yellow toned and it oxidizes quite a bit on my skin, so if you are very pale, definitely mix this with something else. But other than that, this foundation is amazing. It's so good for the drugstore. It does not accentuate my dry skin whatsoever. It is very luminous and very dewy, which I love. I love a dewy foundation. I 100% will pick a dewy foundation over a matte foundation. And this just gives me all the dew. It stays for a pretty long time. I can wear this for about 8-9 hours before it starts to look a little bit cakey and weird on my skin, but I do really like it. Another con that I do have to it though is I try not to set my face with powder just because it is so dry, and when I don't set certain parts of my face with this foundation, I can't stand wearing it just because it is so dewy that it does slide around. Like, I could just tap my skin with this foundation and it would be all over my finger if I don't set it in the right places. Other than that though, it's a great foundation. I love it. If you have dry skin, I definitely recommend you look into it. So my second favorite of the month is a concealer, and this is the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. And I'm in the shade Fair 02. This concealer is really good. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about it. I feel like you either love it or you hate it, but I'm one of those people who really enjoy it. It doesn't accentuate my dryness underneath my eyes. It stays all day. It's very, very brightening on me, which even a lot of concealers, the lightest shades, just blend in with my foundation because my skin is so pale, but this just brightens up beautifully. I love how it blends over foundation. Even when I set it with a powder, it still works, which a lot of other concealers I can't set with a powder because it just looks very dry and cakey, but this one I can, and I love it. I have no bad things to say about this, and I even love the applicator of this. It's kind of like it reminds me of the Jeffree Star concealer where I don't have that concealer, but he was talking about how it has that kind of doe foot where you don't have to keep going in to the concealer and applying more. You can just literally apply this on one eye and go right on to the next, and you'll still have enough product on the brush. There's no need to dip back in. It's great. I love it. I highly recommend you look into it. Third favorite of the month would have to be an eyeshadow palette. And I got this palette in the beginning of the month, and I was so looking forward to trying it because everyone has been talking about this eyeshadow, and it's new on the newer side, but you've definitely heard of this. It's everywhere all over the internet right now. The ColourPop Sweet Talk palette. So first I want to talk about the packaging of this palette. It is so pretty and just eye-catching. I love it. It's definitely like one of the prettiest palettes that they make. I think they've really stepped up their game with their eyeshadow palettes. I have a few of their other ones and they're not nearly as good as this one. So when you open it, even the inside is beautiful. I love the holographic packaging, but it has, I'm sorry guys, my camera just turned off and I'm probably like in a different position now. But it has a lot of pressed powdered shades in this, and it also has one Super Shock shade and 2 pressed pigment shades, which are beautiful. I love the glitters in here. The one thing I don't like about them is that they like suck coming off your eyes. These glitters will stay on my eyes for like 2 days, but it's so pretty that I can look past that. I love it. It's so easy to blend. There's not one shade where I'm like, I don't really like it. I think every shade in that palette is beautiful. Totally worth $16. So the next favorite that I'm going to be talking about is the Wet n Wild Color Icon Bronzer, and I have the shade Ticket to Brazil. So this is what the shade looks like. It is very warm tone. This bronzer is $5 from the drugstore. It's amazing. I love it. If you're not into warm tone bronzers, they have a lot of other shades that you can choose from. And I think all of them have a little bit of a sheen to them. Like, it definitely has some sparkles in here, but it's nothing too noticeable on the skin. Honestly, it looks pretty satin matte on my skin. It's not very glowy or anything, but I still do love this bronzer. It blends so well, lasts throughout the day. It's great. I love Wet n Wild products. All of them are amazing. So the next favorite that I'm going to be talking about is a blush trio, and that is something that I never thought I would talk about. I've never been a really big blush person. For some reason, just a bunch of pink on the cheeks just doesn't call my name. I don't really like the look of blush on me. I love it on other people, but I've never really paid attention to it. I don't buy blushes until I got this in my BoxyCharm last month, and it completely changed my mind about blush. I love this. It is the Alamar Cosmetics Colorette Blush Trio. This is also pretty new, and I think the creator's name is Gabby. The shades in this blush trio are gorgeous. We have Castaway, Paraiso, and Scorcher in here, and every single one of these shades have a little bit of a sheen to them. So Castaway is a more orangey shade, which I really like for blush. I would so choose more of an orangey shade than a pink shade for blush, so I really like this shade. I think it's probably my favorite one in this palette. And then we have Paraiso, probably pronouncing that wrong, I'm sorry. This is a more cool toned pinky shade. It's kind of like a dusty rose color. It's also very pretty. And then we have Scorcher, which is more, it's also a little bit orangey toned. I would say it's more peachy orange with some like gold sparkles in there. It's also so pretty. I don't use that one as much as the other two just because it is the darkest shade out of all of them in the trio. And when I don't have self-tanner on, I'm very pale, so it doesn't work for me. So my last favorite is going to be another ColourPop product for the eyes, and these are their Jelly Much shadows. So I've been seeing Jelly Much shadows, or like jelly textured highlighters, eyeshadows, all that kind of fun stuff everywhere. It's been a really big trend lately, and I just really wanted to buy this because I want to feel what it felt like. So I bought this from ColourPop. It is their Jelly Much shadow in, I got the shade Doves and Roses, and this shade is so pretty. It's pink. It's kind of like the lid shade that I have on right now, actually. It's very similar to their shade Garden Date, which is in their Sweet Talk palette. I would say this one's a little bit darker, but on the eyes they do look pretty similar, except this one is a little bit more metallic. But these Jelly Much shadows are so cool. I've had it for a while, and people are saying that they're drying out fast, but for me, it hasn't dried out at all. I do keep the little thing that it came with on top of it, and then I put the lid on it, so maybe that's why it hasn't dried out, but this is so pretty. When I first used it, it was really weird to apply. I was a little bit confused. I tried applying it with a brush, but it ended up working out better with just my finger. So if you do have these or do buy them, I do suggest you just go in with your finger, and that will be the best application. But it's just so pigmented, so shimmery. I love it. It's so pretty. It doesn't really flake off or anything throughout the day either. It just stays in place all day. I do want to get a lot more shades of it because it is so pretty and I'm obsessed with them, but I just haven't gotten around to it. But I'm pretty sure these are $8. So if you have $8 and you have been wanting to try them, I totally recommend it. It's definitely worth it. Hey guys, just realized I completely forgot to film an outro to that video, so I'm gonna go ahead and film one really quick in my dark room. But I hope you all really enjoyed that video. I'm sorry if it was a little bit awkward. It was my first one, so hopefully as we go up from here, they will get a little bit better. I do have a couple of video ideas in mind that I would like to film probably in the next couple days. Right now I'm gonna try and post a video either once or twice a week. I haven't really come up with a schedule or anything yet, but once I do, I will leave all the info probably in the description box, or I'll make a story or something. So yeah, feel free to like and subscribe, and hopefully I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!